Hey, what's up? It's Phoenix and welcome back to my YouTube channel. I'm very excited because today I'm going to read the opening chapter from my book, Contorted Royal. The chapter is called Circular. So without further ado, let's dive right in. Also, if you want to find the book, you can find the book and other books I've written on my author page. I'll put the link in the description. So without further ado, let's dive right in. The Black Queen couldn't get the blasted, murderous, raging ideas out of her head. It didn't matter how much she metaphorically banged her head against the wall, or how many circles she went in, she couldn't beat them out. It was becoming problematic for more than one reason, for many reasons in all actuality, but ultimately there was no solution, and there could never be a solution. Circular. Circular. That word had a lot of meaning that the Black Queen couldn't quite parse, figure out, critique, understand, criticize, annihilate. She knew it would be good if she did understand the concept of circularity. Circularity like the execution of circumlocution, like circular logic, but in all reality that probably wasn't going to happen. She had been here before, that much was clear. But had she, or was that only a dream? Was it only déjà vu? Was it only in her mind, reality playing back for a second time, third time, fourth time, trillionth time? To tell the truth, the Black Queen wasn't sure how many times she'd been here before. It was probably closer to an infinite number of times, but even if that was true, what was she supposed to do about it? Huh? Solving that problem would be like trying to conquer an infinite number of universes, or rather, an infinite number of universes splitting off into another set of infinite universes. It just wasn't going to happen. The Black Queen was married to the Suicide King, but she had no interest for that suicidal psychopath. Her needs couldn't be met by him. So the Black Queen, in an attempt to gain something, had begun, as she remembered, to meet and love a kid about 20 years old named Spade. The Black Queen was in her 30s, she'd been queen for a while now, but she felt that it was still a good match nonetheless. There was something very mature about Spade. The thing was, she only had memories of meeting Spade here, in this moment. She didn't actually truly remember meeting him, because when things began to go south, the Black Queen was always here. Always. It never failed. The Black Queen knew she'd had a life before this moment, of course she had, of talking to Spade, but she didn't recall it. She had the strongest feeling that Contorted Royal, the kingdom in which the Black Queen and Suicide King owned and operated, was stuck in a specific period of time that repeated itself over and over again, a broken record. Never to stop, a kind of circular hell, a boring song set on repeat. There was nothing hellish about all of this yet, of course, but she figured soon there was going to be hell to pay. Something was going to happen. Something was going to explode, burst into seething flames. Even though the Black Queen lived in a medieval setting, she still wore a modern-day black dress with high heels. To tell the truth, she didn't know why she did. She just did. She didn't know how it was possible because pretty much everyone else around her wore medieval clothes, but not the Black Queen. She wore makeup, dark makeup that insinuated her dark eyes. She was styling. Trying to push these terrible thoughts out of her head about a circular hell like the circularity of logic, the Black Queen said to Spade, "You're so beautiful, you know that? Well, not beautiful, but handsome." Spade, who was wearing black medieval peasant clothes that contrasted sharply with his very bright face and bright eyes, said, "Beautiful, handsome, I'll take it. But you look stunning, ravishing. I've never seen someone so attractive." "You've seen me more than once, and yet you make it sound like this is the first time you've met me." "Because it's always like meeting you for the first time," Spade said. "That's sweet," the Black Queen said, and she kissed Spade on the lips. They began to kiss for quite a while, with it being quite a romantic scene. They were sitting beneath the tree, the shade covering them from the rabid heat of the sun, sitting like a young couple discovering each other for the first time. That was when a knife suddenly flew above the Black Queen and Spade, stabbing the tree's bitter young heart. Walking towards the couple was a man dressed in black. He was a man that the Black Queen didn't recognize, but felt she recognized. It was a man she didn't understand. It was the man that proved the Black Queen was right about her feelings of foreboding. Spade stood up, standing in front of the Black Queen. The Black Queen pushed Spade out of the way and said sharply to him, "I can handle myself." The man approached the happy couple, holding a sharp knife. "You've been here before, haven't you?" the man said. "I don't know what you mean," Spade said. The Black Queen shuddered. Yes, she'd been here before. She'd confronted this man who was going to kill Spade, no matter what the Black Queen did or said. but she felt that wasn't what the man meant. "I suppose so," the Black Queen said. "We've been here multiple times, kissing, having a love affair to make jealous Queen Guinevere and Lancelot. But what's it to you? The Suicide King, in other words, my husband, is too busy stabbing himself in the brain with his sword to care or even notice that I'm out and about." "Well," said the man, "that's too bad, because he has noticed, Lady Black Queen. He's noticed and he isn't very happy. He wants Spade dead." "I know you're lying," the Black Queen said. "Like I said, he's too busy killing his kingdom with his idiocy to care." "Awful harsh words for his majesty, wouldn't you say?" said the man. "But anyway, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter at all. What matters is why I'm here. It's quite simple, really. I imagine you already can imagine what's about to happen." Circular time, the Black Queen thought, and she wasn't sure why she was thinking this when there were bigger problems to worry about. She'd never been here before, it was just deja vu, and she needed to accept that before something bad happened. "I don't know what's about to happen," the Black Queen said. "They're trying to betray you, Spade," the man said, in his overtly confident way. "The Black Queen and the Suicide King." "What's he talking about?" Spade asked, looking at the Black Queen in fear. "He's trying to confuse us, that's all," the Black Queen said. "First he says that it's the Suicide King, as for why this man is here. And then he says I'm trying to frame you. I'm curious to know what comes next. We all live in the same period that repeats itself over and over again." "Something like that," the man said, and looked at his knife longingly. "I'll keep it simple, Spade, since I see I've confused you with two different truths. The Black Queen has framed you. She wanted to get caught in her adultery. The Suicide King was in cahoots as well, wanting you and the Black Queen to get caught. And you know the punishment for sleeping with the Queen." "Death," Spade said stoically. "You know it's all madness," the Black Queen said. "This guy can't get his story straight. Besides, Spade, do I look like I'd betray you?" "No," Spade said, "but either way, the Suicide King isn't happy. He wants me dead." "It's actually Death who wants you dead," the man said. "Death?" Spade said, and he grabbed his head. The Black Queen saw his head was spinning rapidly with all of this contradicting information, with none of it making sense, all of them lies or truths masquerading as lies, as he sat down dizzily. "God help us all. I'm being lied to, but the constant is that I'm going to die." "Maybe they all want you dead," the man said. "Oh, stop it. Can't you see you're driving him crazy?" the Black Queen said. His head is reeling like nausea. "I want you dead," the man said, and the Black Queen saw him say this with glee, a terrible, terrible glee. "We all want you dead. Stop torturing him, the Black Queen hissed. "He's been through enough already. He can't kiss my poisonous lips and then have someone fill his head with nonsense and confusion." "It's only confusion because I haven't told the truth," the man said. "But it doesn't matter. He is going to die, no matter what the truth is." "Yes, I've been here before," the Black Queen said. "I know that he dies." "You know I'm going to die?" Spade said, looking at the Black Queen in fear and frustration. "You know, and you aren't going to do anything?" "Of course she isn't. She wants you dead," the man said. "I do not want him dead," the Black Queen said, and realized that nobody realized they were in circular time. The Black Queen was the only woman or person in the kingdom who knew that things were repeating themselves over and over again, with nothing to ever stop the repetition, the circularity. And that made the Black Queen feel alone, because in all actuality, what if it was just deja vu? That's what it seemed like. It seemed like this was a one-time event. She just thought it had happened before because of deja vu, which was madness, she thought. The Black Queen knew it didn't matter what she did. The outcome was going to be the same. What happened would be the same. The man would succeed in killing Spade. She supposed maybe that was a lie, but she could try to intervene, since this was only deja vu, since this was a one-time thing, but she couldn't bring herself to do that as the man grabbed Spade by the hair, just a kid, of course, who didn't deserve this, and made him stand on his feet. The man pulled out a piece of paper and unruffled it theatrically, speaking dramatically. "It is decreed that because of adulterous affairs, Spade must die, by knife. We've avoided a formal execution, so there is no shame to the Queen. But you must die. The Queen can just do whatever she wants, but I have to suffer," Spade said, shooting a heated and hated look at the Black Queen. The Black Queen, who didn't know what to do, of course, said, "Don't worry, honey. Maybe we'll see each other in heaven. Maybe I'll hang myself tonight and we'll fly around like crazies in heaven together." "Gee, thanks," Spade snapped. "Oh, honey, you need to be nicer to me considering all I've done for you," the Black Queen said, and kissed Spade again. "Don't worry, it'll be a quick death. Quick like a punch to the gut." "Maybe you did want me to die," Spade said. "Maybe you did plan all of this." Maybe I did, the Black Queen said maliciously, and she didn't know why she was being such a hardcore bitch right now, betraying her lover, but she felt good doing it. She felt good because she knew that right when he died and after, she was going to be doing very, very bad. The wonderful high right before the painful withdrawal. She was going to be so bad that she knew she'd go completely bananas, bonkers, and have to be locked up in a psych ward or something. Before the Black Queen could say anything, the man took the knife and slit the boy's throat. He fell, rather gracefully, and the Black Queen was grateful it had been so quick and so dignified. "Charming boy," the man said musingly. "Yes, he is," the Black Queen said, and she felt insanity boiling through her. "I would leave now before something happens to you." The Black Queen knew she was emanating a strong heat, and knew that her gaze was sharp enough to cut through diamond. Before the Black Queen could do anything, however, the man disappeared, vanished. And it was more than the Black Queen could stand. She cried out, "No!" and fell down on her knees in melodramatic agony. She stayed like this for a while, and as expected, none of her servants came to see how the Lady Black Queen, their Majesty, was doing. This drove the Black Queen even more crazy. She was going to hurt herself, she felt it. She was going to punish the Suicide King, but she knew that brainless maniac had had nothing to do with this death. She knew it. And so the Black Queen stood up and marched to the castle. She needed to find Alice. Maybe she could help. It was highly unlikely, but the Black Queen had to try. It was either that or go and murder half her servants in a fit of rage, a fit of angry and painful agony, because there were problems abound. Spade's death was only the beginning, with the circular time problem that was only an illusion in the end. And vice versa. She couldn't get her thoughts in order, and she was probably never going to, which was why she needed to talk to Alice, the Queen of Order Thinking. Thank you for listening to my book, Contorted Royal, and I appreciate you stopping by. Be sure to check out the playlist tab for more videos, and I will see you next time. Thank you for having me.